hello and welcome. We are talking today about connecting and reconnecting. I'm Dr. Lilach Saperstein. It's so wonderful to have you here in the Facebook group. If you're not part of the Facebook group, come and join us at All About Audiology. And if you're not familiar, All About Audiology is the podcast with over 70 episodes all about how audiology impacts your life and what is actually your relationship to your child and to, how to raise a child who is deaf or hard of hearing with all these questions and decisions ahead of you. So definitely check that out if you have not. There's basically different topics and an episode for you no matter what you're dealing with at the moment. But today we are talking about the H.E.A.R retreat starting next Monday. At the H.E.A.R retreat, we will be talking about these big questions of parenting, advocating, and connecting. And I want to give you a sneak peek. This is now the fourth video. You're able to see them on the Facebook page and in the Facebook group. Little sneak peeks of the topics we're going to be talking about at the retreat at length. And that's all starting on July 12th on Monday. Today we are talking about reconnecting, the R in H.E.A.R. History, emotion, advocacy, reconnect. That is the R that we're talking about today. And I have a question for you to start us off. What does it mean for you? What do you think it means to connect with your child? And in what ways do you connect with your child? I asked this question in a poll in the group, and lots of you picked, different ways that you connect with your child. Some people wrote that they really love outdoors, outings, going to the playground, going on walks, that doing these kinds of activities together makes them feel connected to their kids. Other people said indoor activities like baking and coloring and reading. And then there were other people who added choices of having conversations, sharing ideas, and any kind of play, any kind of communication. That is how we connect. So I would think that one of the major challenges that parents face early in the journey is, well, if my child has different hearing levels, if they're hard of hearing, if they're deaf, if they don't have access to certain sounds, how will we connect? How will we communicate if they can't hear me or hear everything around them? And that's a very, very valid concern and a totally okay question to have soon after diagnosis, learning the news, and understanding that there is a difference in the way that your child will interact with the world. If you're a hearing parent, then that's different to you. And I think a lot of parents get really perhaps overwhelmed with the possibility that they won't be able to connect with their child, or that connecting to their child will be difficult. Now, I know for most of you listening, you are further along in your journey, and you have found, of course, that we connect on so many levels, and the communication is one part of that, and hearing is one even smaller part of that. There's so many different ways that we connect through our being, just through our presence, through sitting next to each other, through holding your baby or hugging your toddler, or having them touch your throat while you sing to them so they can feel the movement of your vocal folds, or putting your hand on your chest and feeling the vibrations. These are things that everyone can connect to, that we can really actually be with each other. And that connection truly comes from when we are present, when we are here now together with each other in the same space, and having shared attention, both you and your child both looking at the same thing or playing with the same thing, even if that is, it's not, what I'm saying is, it's not just looking into each other's eyes in this kind of hallmark TV moment that is going to be really the the commercial for, laundry detergent, where it's like, oh, look at this beautiful 30 seconds of this baby and mama connected to each other. And then it's like, oh, and she washes his clothes. Okay. Yeah, that was a tangent. Sorry. But it's not only those kinds of moments, right? It's not only those very intense and specific long eye contact moments. We also connect with our children in so many ways. So that's what I was saying about shared attention. If both of you are playing with the same thing or having attention to the same toy or a book or their toes or your fingers or the sky or a bird, right? Anything around you can actually become a point of connection. Now, I wanted to say that besides for just games and playing and having experiences like the ones we talked about in the home or outside the home, there's also the very, very, very real and possible connection that comes out of unpleasant sensations and unpleasant situations and encounters with our children. Because first of all, children are incredible in that when they have needs, they cry about them. They make them known. And when they have wants, they demand them and they want them. And that's something that we can actually learn from children and not forget that when we need help, we should request it. And when we want something, we should go after it. There's something very beautiful and very important about the child's sense of self. You know, as an infant, even it's like I am needy, and please meet my needs. That is a beautiful survival mechanism, but also a way for us to truly help in the building of the bond and building the relationship with our kids from when they're the tiniest, infants, all the way forever. and in every relationship that we have is that we have needs and we want to help our kids and our friends and our colleagues and our neighbors and all the people in our lives. We want to be mutually beneficial to one another and helpful and build that sense of community, of contribution, of participation. That's what connection is. But it starts also by recognizing yourself. So you can't always be giving and always be contributing and participating and helping and meeting everybody else's needs without there also being an element of you getting that as well in whatever context. So it's never exactly 50-50. Like, think about the whole first 18 years of being a parent, where you give, right? So where was I going with this? Hold on. The needs. Yes, we were talking about how it's not only unpleasant sensations, right? So, it's not always so like beautiful and darling that it's like I'm getting the silhouette, the filters, the Instagram filters, like everybody's just peach colored and vintage looking. Oh, so sweet, right? But sometimes we are dealing with tantrums. Sometimes we're dealing with screaming kids who know what they want. That's where I was going with this. First I made it beautiful, now I'm getting real. It is real. It is real that it is challenging, and toddlerhood and then childhood, okay, is filled with outbursts and tears and cries and sadness and isolation. And some of those things we look at and we kind of look at them as like, okay, I wish we didn't have that. And I wish we could just throw all that away and only have sunny, beautiful, happy days. But unfortunately, that is not the reality of life. And we have to deal also with those moments and days and seasons when things are difficult. And in those, we absolutely can continue to cultivate connection and bonding and come together. So when we talk about reconnecting, which is why I like to say reconnecting, because actually at every moment and at every opportunity we have this chance to reconnect, no matter what has happened before, what's been quote unquote broken, what things have gotten in the way of the relationship and in the way of connecting. Every moment is a new moment. And I think about this, I'll be very vulnerable right now and tell you that I think about this in the times when I am not a patient, calm parent, in the times when I do scream and explode after imploding. Just totally had it up to here with my beautiful, wonderful kids that are children, humans, by the way. I'm one too, okay? So we kind of have to understand that about each other. But in those moments when I have done that, and I work first to forgive myself on it and say, okay, there were reasons, there were factors that contributed, that led up to this explosion. Excuse me. I didn't know how I was going to say that. So what is happening is that after I actually find, okay, I just blew up. I'm actively screaming. I'm noticing it, and I'm understanding myself. I'm having compassion towards what has led me to this moment, what specific things have happened for this to come about. And then I remember that the next moment is also a choice, and the next moment is also a choice. And I don't always make the right one. Sometimes I notice it, and it's like, okay, yeah, I'm noticing it, and I'm really mad. I'm going to continue on this this kind of communication. But other times, and I've noticed it, I'll realize, am I connecting in a way that I really actually want to be connected? Or is there another option for me? And I want to just show you my little friend here. This is a vintage toy, you might say. And my kids think this toy is hilarious. First of all, because who knows about rotary phones? Okay? Who knows about, what is this called? I can't remember. The handheld thing? This thing that has the microphone and the speaker, on two parts. Like this is an absolute relic, this toy, as a representation of a phone, which it isn't. Like, I don't know that my 3-year-old actually knows that this is a phone, except I would call it that. But it has no relationship to the iPhone I walk around with. But the reason I'm bringing up this toy is because it makes this ringing dinging sound. And my 5-year-old, let me go back. My 3-year-old loves to play with this because it has a string and wheels, and she walks around the house with it. So this is kind of like a toy that she drags along. That's how she plays with it. My 5-year-old, who knows numbers, is very excited about putting in our phone numbers. So every few days, whenever she comes upon this toy, she will ask us, "What is your phone number?" And then I'll tell her, and she'll start pressing the buttons and putting in the numbers of our phone number, pretending to call us, and then she'll, call us. And we have pretend phone calls, phone conversations, back and forth. So this has been an incredible tool for us, and I've used it in a number of different ways, specifically with my 5-year-old. For those of you who don't know, I have 3 kids, 3 daughters. They are 7, 5, and 3. Well, the 5-year, she's turning 5 in August, so I'm just going to say she's 5. But I found this toy in particular has really gotten me in a kind of mode of, this is my connection time with her. Like, I have to be fully present with this phone, with the numbers. Like sometimes, if she's calling from the next room, "What's the number?" And I have to yell the number, and then she's like, "What's the rest of it?" And it's like, no, okay. This is the toy. This is the toy that has become a physical anchor for me to realize I need to come down to her level or sit with her on the couch and actually play with this toy, even if it's going to be for 35 seconds. That 35 seconds, I am actively choosing, and I am making it a priority throughout our afternoon, evening, that I am going to play with her. Now, it can obviously be with any toy, with any activity, with any item that your child likes. I have just found that specifically because it's a tool for communication, a phone, it reminds me, this is what our phones are really about, okay? This is, the thing is that we have these devices that can connect us to anyone at any time, with video, with audio, or by text, or sending pictures, or, we have so many ways of communicating through Facebook, through Zoom, through Instagram. And how do we really truly cultivate that presence with each other? So these are some of the thoughts I'm having today, and I'd love to hear where you're feeling that you want to introduce more moments of connection, or maybe you can share with us what's working for you so that other parents and family members can also get those ideas. That's really also the power of this group and the power of the retreat. We're going to have breakout rooms as well. And when we do the breakout rooms, something really, really magical starts to happen when we're all coming together on a specific topic or activity that I will assign to you guys who come live throughout the 7 days of the retreat, starting on Monday. And I'm really very excited. So tell us, how do you connect with your child? What tools, activities, games, songs, or anchor thoughts do you have? And put them in the comments so we can all learn from one another. Thanks for being here today. Oh, and you guys get a special sneak peek. It's an exciting announcement that upcoming episode of the podcast with Dr. Michelle Hu at Mama Who Hears is coming out today or tomorrow. Very, very exciting. So keep an eye out for that. It will be coming into your email if you're getting emails from me. If not, send me a message. Anyway, let's schmooze. I love talking to you guys. So if you have any questions, thoughts, and if you want to invite your friends to the retreat, please do so. That would be awesome for them to join us. Thanks. I'll see you soon. Bye.